All Blacks coach Steve Hansen calls for united front over controversial camps. All Blacks coach Steve Hansen calls for united front over controversial camps. All Blacks coach Steve Hansen had just been honoured for his leadership, so it was apparent he chose his words wisely in dealing with the controversial topic of his mooted 4 training camps to be staged during the Super Rugby season. Details are yet to be unveiled, but it has been widely speculated that the camps will take the form of 2 one-day gatherings, and 2 3-day affairs, with the hope that they will provide as little disruption as possible. Already Hurricanes coach Chris Boyd has voiced his concern that the All Blacks coaches are to impinge so visibly on Super Rugby, and there have been murmurings of discontent from other franchises. It's the first time since 2007 there has been this level of disruption. But Hansen, who was honoured with Sport New Zealand's Leadership Award at the Halbergs, described the intended camps as a necessary evil prior to the 3-test June series against France and called on all in New Zealand rugby to get on board with a plan that had already been well talked through. "I don't want to be plucking players out of Super Rugby, that's the first thing," said Hansen after collecting an award he said was a surprise. "Unfortunately, with the way the season is structured, you've got to have some preparation to play an international team of the standard of France. If you don't have that, you run the risk of underperforming, and the expectation is we win. It's not an ideal situation for super teams, we know that. It's not ideal for the players, and it's certainly not an ideal situation for us not having any preparation time. We went through a process where a lot of people were spoken to, and we've come to an agreement on what we've got. We're supportive of each other hopefully. I know there's been a lot of talk in the media about it, but we have to adapt and adjust to what we can do. Let's just get on with it and work together and do the right thing by our players." Hansen also admitted to concern around the ongoing loss of second-tier All Blacks to contracts offshore, but felt New Zealand rugby continued to fight the good fight on that front. "We're very fortunate to have a talented pool of people, but the downside of that is everyone else wants to come in and buy them. The French market and English market have got plenty of money, Japan have also got plenty, and the old adage is if we want to develop one, we have to develop 4, 1 for us, and 1 for each of those other 3 environments. It hasn't got to the point where it's disastrous. The contracting people are doing a magnificent job, the rugby unions support us magnificently, and the people themselves have a massive desire to keep wanting to pull on that black jersey." Hansen, recently back from a fact-finding trip to Japan, said plans were well advanced around this year's program, and particularly the tricky transition from 2 tests in Japan to those much-anticipated November clashes against England and Ireland in their backyards. "We're back into planning mode with the group and had some good meetings so far. We've pretty much got a plan for the year, but we'll probably keep it to ourselves at this stage. We've given a lot of thought to this year." Hansen said it was humbling to be honoured for his leadership at the Halbergs, and he paid tribute to colleagues, players and family for the support they had given him. In terms of leadership, he acknowledged the ultimate guidance from his father Des. "I had some great coaches and great people. You learn off the good people, but you also learn off the bad people. From a rugby and life point of view, Dad stands out, but there's been a lot of people who have helped along the way. At some point you've got to drive your own boat, and you make mistakes along the way, and hopefully you don't make too many big ones.